morning everyone. It is Monday the 8th of December and I'm off to work. The students are finished, so today is just meetings, planning, farewells, preparation for next year, that kind of thing. I'm running a bit late though, so I will show you the rest of my outfit later on. Basically, I'm wearing ready to wear tops and a Protea skirt by Megan Neilsen. It's going to be 27 degrees today, but it's a bit of a cooler start. I'd better get to work. I'll see you later. Productive day at work today. Lots of admin done, some planning for next year, so that was really good. I've come home and I have finished the quilting on my quilt, and I've also trimmed the edges of that excess backing fabric. So my next job will be to cut and create the binding, and hopefully I'll get that done. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that tonight or wait until I'm on holidays and get that done on Wednesday. We'll see. I did end up adding a little bit more quilting. I decided in the long rows to put a line of quilting down the center. You can't even really see it, but I was just worried about having these very large pieces of fabric without any kind of quilting, attaching them to that backing fabric. So it's lucky you can't really see them because they're not very straight. I just eyeballed them. So I started with them right in the center, but then when I'd sort of measure halfway down, they weren't really centered anymore. So they're a little bit wonky, but I think the main reason I did it was just I just wanted to secure it to the backing a little bit more than it already was. So that's nearly done. I'm only one day behind my original schedule. So when I was planning this out, I set yesterday as my goal to have all of the quilting done. So one day late's not too bad, I think. And then this Friday was my hopeful goal to get the whole thing finished. And that's looking very achievable now. So this will be finished and on the couch in no time. I've just got changed because I'm about to go for a walk. I want to get outside and do some exercise before I have some dinner. So I'll take you with me, and I'm hoping today I'm going to find some jacaranda trees. They have come into bloom a little bit later than last year, I think because of that cold November that we had. But now that the sun has been out a lot more, I'm seeing a few more jacaranda blossoms. So hopefully I'll find some of those, but I'll share anything else interesting I find along the way as well. All right, still not a lot of jacarandas in bloom, but a nice walk nonetheless. Everyone, I'm going to open up my tea calendar now, make myself a cup of tea, and then I'll come back for a chat. So today, day 8. So this tea, it looks like it's got some petals or something in there. Quite floral. It smells beautiful. What am I going to guess? I'm actually going to guess cocoa, like cacao. Let's see. I couldn't be further from it for this one. This one's a peach flavored black tea. Smells really good. I'll make my cup and then come back. For someone who eats chocolate pretty much every day, you'd think I'd have a better idea of what it smells like, but apparently not. After dinner tonight, I spent some time on the couch knitting, and I've now completed my 2 matching tail pieces. So the next job will be to attach them like this with a contrast color. Now I haven't decided what contrast color I'm going to use yet. So I'm considering whether I'll use a green. There's a little bit of green in there, or a pink and capture the sort of pinks that are in there. I'm not sure. I definitely won't have any of the cream again. But yeah, I want to make a really nice contrast, but I'm not sure exactly what color I will do for that yet. So that's the next step. I've got about 1 week. I found out that Raf's going to have his last guitar lesson next Wednesday. So Wednesday the 17th of December, that's when I need to have this finished by. So it needs to be a priority now to make sure I get this finished in time to give it to our guitar teacher. So I'm enjoying that, and I'm excited now to add another colour in. It's always a fun part of a knitting project, I find. I thought I might also answer some more of your questions. Thank you so much to the people who have been leaving them. I might choose a couple more and have a chat with you. The chamomile tea, by the way, I quite enjoyed it. It was the first time I'd tried it. It went quite well with my mince pie last night. So yeah, it wasn't bad. It's probably still not one I would choose, but it was nice to try something new. What I am liking about this advent calendar is that every day it's a different teas. There's 24 different teas, whereas last year's one, there were only 12, I think, and you had each one twice. So the first questions are from Bree, and Bree was inspired to make the chanterelle pants after watching my success with them. And she asks, do you think you'll make some more chanterelles? Do you like to stick with tried and true patterns or experiment with new ones? I think a mixture of both. I definitely will make some more chanterelles. It's one of my plans is to try the wide leg version. So I have made the view that has the tapered leg and I love them. I've made 3 pairs of those, and I've made the shorts version, and I really like wearing those in the summer as well. But what I haven't made yet is the wide leg version. And because the chanterelle pants, I really like the pattern and I like the way they fit. And I especially like the way they fit around my hips and my bum without a whole lot of extra fabric there, which has been a problem for me with quite a few other patterns. I think it's worth giving these a shot with the wide leg version as well. So I think making maybe a pair of like black linen ones could be a really good idea. And I'm hoping to go to the fabric store a little later in the month to pick up some fabric that I can try the wide leg chanterelles with. As far as other patterns, I have some patterns that I would say are tried and true. So when it comes to things like t-shirts, I tend to stick with a pattern that I know I really like. So at the moment, that's the Jackson tee. I like where the neckline is. It's not too high, it's not too low. I like the fit on me. But apart from that, I do like to experiment with new patterns. I'm often buying new patterns. I have so many patterns I haven't had the chance to make yet. I would really like to make more of them. Sometimes I do get a little bit scared when it comes to new patterns though. And if I'm really loving a fabric, I might tend to go towards a pattern that I know fits me well before I try a new pattern out. So a little bit of both, but probably I do try and make new patterns a lot because that keeps it fresh and exciting. The questions from Georgie are all about my music experience. She's got a few. What instruments do you play? When did you start learning music? Did you start before you started learning the flute? What are your favorite genres of music? And are your family musical? So the first instrument I actually learnt was the piano. I started that when I was about 6 years old and I really enjoyed it. And then I joined a choir, the Victorian Children's Choir, which I absolutely love. I just thrived in that choir. I loved it. I loved the rehearsals. I loved the performances. I was very proud to be in that choir. So I had a few years of musical tuition before I started the flute. So then when I picked up the flute around age 10, I could already read music. I understood how notation worked, all that kind of stuff. So it gave me a really good start. I rarely play the flute anymore. I really don't play it at all. I did teach it for a long time. I think I mentioned the other day, it was my major at uni, the flute. So it served me well for a long time. But now, yeah, I just love singing in choirs so much and I love teaching choirs so much. So that's where I've sort of gone with my career. In terms of whether my family is musical, I'd say, look, my parents brought us up listening to a lot of music. There was always classical music playing in the house. So I definitely come from a family where music was very valued. My dad still sings with choirs. He loved being in musical theatre productions when he was at school and then a little bit beyond school as well. My great-grandmother was a really accomplished piano player and organist, and she absolutely loved the fact that we were learning instruments. And every time we had a family event or a party, She loved if we could perform for her. She actually lived to almost 101, and at her 100th birthday party, it was full of family musicians performing. I'm one of 4 siblings, and I would say we're all musical people, yet it's my youngest sister and I who have pursued it as a career. My brother is really musical. He played in a band for a long time. He makes up music. He enjoys being creative and making up songs. My other sister learnt flute for a long time. She was in the school musicals and things like that. So yeah, definitely a family of music lovers, and now all of our children have all learnt instruments as well. In terms of my favourite genres of music, this is a hard one. And I guess I'll probably talk about if you were to find me at a concert, what kind of concert would it be? And it would most likely be a choir concert. I just love them. I just love a cappella choir singing. So that's probably my number one. In terms of the radio, I probably would listen to, again, classical music and pop music. That's pretty much it. My kids like listening to pop music, so we have that on a lot. So it's either pop music or classical music probably here. And in terms of classical, I'm not really into opera. And if I was going to narrow it down even further in the classical music kind of genre, I would say I really love romantic. I really love Baroque. And I love Renaissance music as well. So there you go. A little bit more about me. So we've now done 8 days of Vlogmas, and I am really enjoying myself. Thank you so much to everyone who is watching, commenting, liking, engaging with these videos in any way. I really appreciate it. I look forward to reading your comments every day. I'm trying my best to reply to them all, but it is a big job, especially when I'm trying to get the next video out. So please do know that I am reading them all and really enjoying them all. I forgot to open my Kath Kidston advent calendar yesterday. I was so busy. So I'll include some footage of days 7 and 8 in this video as well. Apart from that, I'd better get on to editing this video and then hopefully getting a good night's rest before my last day of work for the year.